we've had a good few days here, and we've still got a lot of work to do. But we're focused, and we should be for a game like this. So it's going to be a great afternoon, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay, a week like this, how do you bring it along slowly so that they don't peak too soon on this emotion?
I think it just goes back to the way you prepare every week. You don't change things. Our formula has proven to be fairly successful. I mean, you're always tweaking it as you go, but you just don't change. You say the same things, you emphasize the same things, you prepare the same way. I think if you build a consistency through your program through the years, and it proves to be successful, you want to stick with it. So that's what we do.
Have you noticed a certain level of maybe anxiety on the part of your team?
I haven't noticed on the part of the team. I've noticed an excitement, but they're like that every week. I look at it very carefully, Jim. Just kind of, one of the things I do, I stand back and I watch them and see where they are, and they seem like they've been the last few weeks, just focused and anxious to play. Not anxious about the game, but anxious to play, excited to play. So we're in a good spot right now. We just have to continue along the same lines as we're going and get prepared, and then Saturday go play our best game.
So you had a game with only 4 penalties. Are the penalty problems gone now?
I never want to say they're gone. I think that we have to just make sure that we're doing a really nice job of owning that issue. Like we talked about the last couple of weeks, I asked them to own that, and I believe they have. I think that it's going to be important on Saturday night that we don't have those critical penalties at inopportune times.
Does it feel like in a game like this that could decide something, especially given how USC has kind of had some of the same issues?
I hope not. I hope that penalties aren't what decides this game. I hope some players on the field playing their hearts out. I hope the officials, understand the significance of this game and let young men go out and decide the outcome.
Jim, how do you compare this rivalry to other rivalries you've been a part of?
I really haven't been a part of many in a long, long time. Back when I was in college, it was Washington State or Washington, Oregon. But it was much more, it seems that it was much different. I was much younger at the time. And, in the NFL, you really don't have rivalries. You have divisional opponents, but you really don't have rivalries like this, especially where you're in the same city. It's very unique to the world of sports. So I think it's what makes it so special.
Coach, in the coaching fraternity, there's a great deal of admiration for each other. Speaking of coaches, and I know that exists between you and Steve Sarkisian.
I have great respect for Steve. He's partially responsible for me standing here today. He really is. He gave me an opportunity to be around the University of Washington program. He didn't have to do that. He did it. We've been friends. And now, we're friendly competitors, and we're going to go out there on Saturday and we're going to try to beat each other. But at the end of the day, I have great respect for him as a person and as a coach. And I wish he wasn't over USC.
Is there anything you remember in particular about just learning the college game that you learned from that time you spent with him in the program?
I think what I learned is how appealing it was for me to be around athletes at this age where you could have some type of impact on their life on the field and off the field. Just the time I spent talking to not just football players but other athletes in that training room, which was a lot of time. Just things that that felt like you could provide for them. Advice or support. I'd been through the things that they were going through. There's an anxiety when you're a college athlete about what comes next, and so I don't know. It just sparked something inside me.
Steve showed you that sports writers cover college and much better than NFL sports writers.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk much about the media. He was very, very gracious about letting me have full access to anything that I wanted. And it wasn't like I was in every meeting or at every practice, but I was around, and I appreciated it.
He said he wished he wouldn't have told you how important recruiting was.
Well, he didn't have to tell me that. Everyone knows that, And I can tell you this: he didn't. It's not like Steve divulged a bunch of secrets on their recruiting strategy or anything like that. I can tell you I wasn't invited in any recruiting meetings, so he's way too smart to make that mistake.
Isn't that where you learned about Miles Jack? Was around Washington?
No. I knew Miles I've known Miles a long time.
Where does Leonard Williams rank on the list of defensive linemen you've seen since you've been here?
Oh, he's a great player. I mean, he's disruptive, he's explosive, he can play the run, he can rush the passer. I mean, he's a I don't know if he's a top 10, top 5, top pick, but he's in the discussion. It depends on who's drafting where, but he's a great football player, and I don't know where he compares to the other ones I've seen. I kind of let the past go and move on, but he's something special. We have to really do a great job of taking care of him this week.
Coach, have you thought about and how important, and how important are pregame speeches, especially in a game like this?
I think they're overrated in general. I think that it's the things that you say to them through the course of the year and through the course of the week, the culture that you build, the things that you emphasize. I think that's what sticks with you. You can give them win one for the Gipper speech, and the minute they get hit in the mouth, all that goes right out the door. So I just think it's the attitude, the mindset you create through the years, through the weeks, of the season, and then through the week that you're playing.
So yours won't be fire and brimstone, sort of?
I don't know. I don't necessarily plan it. I don't know.
Do you do fire and brimstone?
I don't even know what that is. I just do what I feel is right at the right time.
All right, thanks guys.
Okay.